Hello.
Hello.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We are back.
We are
2024.
back.
Hope you all had a lovely Christmas and an amazing New Year and didn't get too drunk. Danielle looks like she got drunk. Yeah, I didn't.
No, it was pretty mellow.
No comment for Danielle.
It was pretty.
No Malibu involved.
Malibu.
I believe Malibu is your drink, is it, Danielle?
Is it?
Maybe.
I had a couple of Disaronnos around Jamie's parents, but that was it.
Huh?
Disaronno. Do you have that over there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and spent time with your family and your loved ones. And I hope Santa was good to everybody.
We all made it through, didn't we?
Yeah, here we are in another shitty year. Welcome.
Another shitty year.
Welcome to 2024. And we were going to go to the moon, but there's so much has happened since we done our last show on, I believe it was 19th of December. So much has happened. We need to catch up on that shit before we get going because, oh my God. We've had the Epstein Documents dropping. A couple of murderers have been released from prison that we're going to go over. I did mention one on the Facebook page over the holidays. And somebody took a picture of Bigfoot. And
it's all kicking off.
It's all kicking off. And what better way to kick off 2024? There was aliens in Miami, apparently, allegedly.
Apparently.
Although I'm dubious, but we'll have a look at that later.
Yeah.
Aliens!
Not little aliens, not the little gray or green men that we...
No, they were big fuck-off aliens, apparently.
Big fellas.
Yeah, we've got a video that we're going to look at later. I'm not convinced it was aliens, but something suspicious was going on, but we'll get to that in a little while.
Definitely something weird, but I don't know what it was.
So, let's just kick off because there's been a hell of a lot going on in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, what are we going to start with?
Oscar Pistorious.
Okay, he was the athlete, the Olympian athlete.
Yeah, the double amputee that killed his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. We done it in the Valentine's episode last year, Riva Steenkamp, and he was released from prison.
Okay, so as a little refresher to let everybody know, what caused him to do this?
He basically...
He says he woke up in the middle of the night and heard an intruder, so he shot them through the bathroom door.
But, considering that he's got... is it one leg or...
No, he's got no legs.
No legs.
I was going to say he had two... It was a double amputee, right? Double amputee?
And he done all this all in the dark when he was sleeping. He didn't know if she was still in bed.
He didn't check or anything.
He got his legs on.
Shot through the door, murdered her. And he's not served a lot of time really for murdering somebody, but he got released on the 5th of January.
Yeah, and this is somebody who would go out driving fast in cars before that, just shooting guns up in the air out of the rooftop of his car and things like that. I don't know if I remember that.
Oh, she's went weird.
Danielle's gone weird.
What did you just say to me?
Look at that face that it's stuck on. Did you see that? Can you hear me?
No, what did you say? Because you went, weird.
I'm like, I don't remember that part of the story. I don't remember about him driving around doing, He was a
bit of a twat,
basically. Doing stuff like that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, so apparently, bizarrely, he's been out of prison for 4 days and there's been no pictures of him as how he looks now. But apparently, according to the media, he's now a grey and overweight chain smoker. So,
really? How do you get overweight in prison?
Money, I suppose.
I mean, what is it in prison? Are they just getting the fat life? They get fed anything they want?
For everyone else's food, I reckon.
Yeah.
You get fed anything you want?
Yeah. Yeah, at least have been doing...
Like going to the spa?
Yeah, a lot of people who go in prison, they end up coming out like, Incredible Hulk, don't they? Which I never really understood. Never really understood when people go, why they have gyms like allow these people to weightlift and stuff in prison. It was like you're allowing them to make themselves tougher that when they play up in prison to fight the prison guards and things like that.
And then I wonder too, because I'm just now thinking about it. Like he was a double amputee, so he had prosthetics. Yeah. Like At what point do they consider those like weapons, and do you have to really watch? You know, so maybe he was sitting around a lot, and that's how he gained weight.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
But he's
Who
not.
knows?
He's,
Kelly.
considering that, like, when he murdered her, it was only 11 years ago, and I believe he's only served just over 8 years in prison. That's pathetic. Pathetic for
Yeah.
murdering somebody.
But it wasn't, he didn't get like first degree murder, right? So
I've seen people get more for robbery, Danielle. It's ridiculous.
No, I remember because that was shown on TV, and that I know there was a lot of bump fall attached with it, and he had all them lawyers and things like, you know, the usual sort of stuff when there's celebrities involved and
so there's
a load of crap, but
there's no photos, like recent photos of him or
They've
anything.
had no photos on, which is weird.
Yeah.
Considering the other person that was released from prison, I believe it was the 28th of December, been all over the fucking place. Apparently becoming a TikTok star already. Gypsy,
Not only that.
Gypsy Blanchard.
yeah,
Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Which is weird. It's...
yeah, this is all a weird one, isn't it?
Oh, and Pistorious has apparently got £1 million tell-all book deal coming out as well, which is... You shouldn't be allowed to make money off murdering somebody.
No.
No.
Gypsy's story was a little different.
It was, but...
I don't know if people remember. Her mom, she was a victim of, what is it, Munchausen syndrome?
Munchausen by proxy.
By proxy, yeah. So her mom, like, I mean, if you remember, it's like she even had, didn't she have teeth removed too? Like her mom had teeth removed from her?
All kinds of crap.
She had all kinds of crap done to her.
Well, nice.
And I do sympathise with what was done to her. But she just seems like she's very manipulative.
She was put in a wheelchair?
She was put in a wheelchair. Apparently, they told people she couldn't walk. And when her mum died, I do believe she was like maybe 23, 24. But Dee Dee, her mother, had changed her date of birth. So everybody thought she was only 17 or 18.
Didn't even know her real age.
I know she was manipulative as well. And I think she was obviously getting perks as well as being, you know, mentally scarred. But I think after that time, she's bound to have picked up a few tricks along, and I think we see that.
She lived with a very manipulative mother for 23 years.
Well, I was going to say,
she did. I mean, she manipulated the boyfriend into murdering the mother.
But she was also, I mean, because this is where the empathy comes in, right? I mean, she was a victim herself.
She was
because she had to like go through a whole mind thing too, you know. I almost said a different word, but she had to go through something too, you know, like where she was brainwashed or led to believe that she was this victim, and then comes to the point where she just can't take it anymore and probably discovered the real truth, right?
But was there not other options though? I mean, some of the doctors were getting suspicious that what Dee Dee was telling them wasn't all on the level, and she could have went to any of them. She could have said, "Look, there's nothing wrong with me. I could walk."
See,
she knew she could walk because she was allowed to walk in the house.
I think that's some of the problems. I think some of the issues with it all is because she's perceived as being like very childlike, and she sounds very childlike. So people see it as though she was a child. So they say, well, obviously she was young, so she couldn't have got out or spoke to someone. But actually, the truth is she was older than what everyone believes she is. Mentally, yeah, all right, we can say that she was a bit young, mature.
So in what way should she got the boyfriend to do this? They were both under the influence at the time, weren't they, like doing drugs and things like that? Not that that's an excuse, but it's just added to
he had autistic. He had some mental issues.
Okay.
So she convinced him that she needed to get rid of the mother. He needed to get rid of the mother.
Yeah.
But, it's a difficult one because you can sympathize with her, but
and then in what way did
he's still in prison when it was her that put it all into motion, and she manipulated him into doing it. It's just.
And what were the circumstances in which she was killed?
He stabbed her, I believe.
Okay. I mean, was she like sleeping? Were they like? Do you remember how?
I think Gypsy let him in at night time when she was in bed.
So she just got released from prison before him, right?
And he's still got a long time to go.
And then also, I think they're doing a Lifetime docuseries or documentary or something about her.
Yeah, she's been photographed already on the red carpet at the premiere, and she's been on TikTok several times and telling people to go and download and buy her ebook because she's wrote a book. So she's trying to make money out of this. She's trying to get fame out of this, and that just seems a bit wrong to me.
And I think that somebody that was following her story ended up marrying her.
Yeah, she got married last year.
Okay.
But she's kept the name Blanchard.
Yeah.
She's got, I mean, I guess you can't judge, but she's got that tiny voice. It's kind of like annoying to listen to.
She still sounds very childish when she speaks.
Yeah.
I don't think she's changed her name after she got married because she wants to keep that name because that's what's.
But you think you wouldn't want to keep the name, would you? If that's the mother's name and like everything that she'd done to her, you'd think you would want to get rid of that name and get rid of that association, really. But I don't know. It's strange though. So that's she's got loads of followers on TikTok and she's lapping it up.
Yeah. But she does still, I mean, I think she was interviewed, I think on one of the morning shows, and they asked her, like, do you feel any guilt or anything like that? And she's just like, oh, I'm just trying to get on with my life. And I wish whoever the ex-boyfriend, that did it, like, I wish him the best. And
she's not allowed to contact him. But
and
she did also say that she didn't have any other choice, which for her to still believe that, I mean, what if she ends up in a situation again when she want to get out of her marriage because she's now married? There's always another choice. There's always another. Murder isn't always the only choice that you've got.
Yeah.
I hope he's sleeping with one eye open.
Yeah, make you feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Of course, we don't know his history, but.
Well, I don't think we've by any means heard the last of Gypsy because she is very much putting herself in the public eye, and people are putting her in the public eye. You've got this Lifetime movie. She's having a book going.
Yeah, and I think they asked her, like, do you feel, how did they put it? Like, do you think it's okay that you're doing it or putting yourself out there? And she's claiming that she's not doing anything wrong or doing anything different than anybody else would do. And I don't know.
Yeah, so somebody had commented on, I think it was one of her TikTok pictures that she'd put up, the first selfie of her and her husband. And people had put comments saying that it's a bit creepy that he's married her when she was in prison for murder and what have you. And she's commented on that, defending her husband, but also like telling everybody you're just jealous and the sex is on fire and like really too much information.
TMI.
We don't need to know that. We're not interested. But she's strange. She's a strange girl.
Well, I always find it a little bit strange when people start like dating and marrying people in prison. That's just like, especially when they don't know how long they're going to be in there for. I mean, I know we knew with her, but
you also wonder
with that, didn't they?
With everything she went through, like, like, is there a multiple personality thing going on? So I said, whoever she's married to, really, I don't know, man. I would want separate rooms. Give me a lock,
Well, he's only spent just about 2 weeks with her. It's all fine and well marrying somebody while they're in prison, but he's now got to live with her. Let's just see how that lasts.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. Like, so, yeah.
It's strange. It's strange. But
all right, well, she's out there, so I guess
we've not heard the last of Gypsy anyway.
No.
So check out Lifetime if you're interested, I guess.
She's definitely going to sell her life now.
Oh, yeah, she's going to make a hell of a lot of money out of this. Which is a bit wrong, really. I mean, he was a bitch.
She was a victim.
She was her mother was a crazy bitch, but
she was legitimately, I think, crazy too. Like, and you wonder what she went through that made her who she was. But again, to really justify the murder or the killing, it's a whole different story right there.
Well, apparently Gypsy's going to redo her wedding vows, and she's having a massive Disney wedding, so that should be fucking interesting.
A Disney wedding?
Oh, because she was obsessed with Disney when she was a child as well, and the McDonald's charities and the charities for like ill children all paid for it. She went to Disney multiple times, and
I was just because she's got a voice of a Disney character. Like, she could do a voice over her own wedding.
Oh, don't give her ideas, Danielle. Don't give her
Okay.
ideas.
Nope.
Yeah. So, next up, the Epstein documents have been trickling out a little bit. Have you seen these?
What's that?
The Epstein documents.
I've heard a lot about them, yes, with the list, the infamous list. And people, of course, are already like, oh, no, I wasn't there. I just, I might have been on the list, but blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. And what are you talking about? Yeah, a lot of denial coming out.
And obviously, if there's that's obviously a big list, I should imagine. I ain't really looked at it too much myself, but, you can't guarantee that everyone's sort of like, been involved with some dodgy stuff there. Some people have just, because Epstein injected himself into everyone's lives on purpose to manipulate and get things out of them and things like that. So you've got to look at that sort of aspect.
I'm not surprised at anybody on the list, to be honest. A lot of them we knew were on the list anyway. So
yeah. Well, at least that reinforced what people have been saying, and people have been doubting the things and denying things, but they still try and deny it, as we're probably going to find out.
There's some of the names we've got so far. We've got, obviously, the usual suspects. Ghislaine, obviously. Prince Andrew, which is no surprise to anybody.
What they don't put on here is the number of times that their names appear and how many times they were on the flight logs, or whether they went to the island itself or just were on the flight log.
Yeah. So we've got Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Now it's putting it there, but the thing I read, it was like asking about Donald Trump, and the person said, no, you weren't interested in anything like that.
The victims even said he never came to the island. I think he flew like twice, but it was from there. It wasn't to the island. It would have been even to like Miami. I don't remember. I would be wrong.
So there are people on here that are mentioned in the documents, but it doesn't mean that they were there. It was denied by the victims that they were ever there, but they were asked about. So
yeah, Kelly, that surprises me too. But apparently, it was more than once that he visited the island as well, Stephen Hawking. So I don't. Now there is, and Lisa brought this up. I didn't know this story. So now we're going to come out. We're going to find out. Yeah, these people went there. They're on the flight log, or they went to the island. But now you're going to have people out there trying to make up scenarios and stuff. And Lisa said there was one. I didn't hear this one. Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, there's people actually faking some of the documents and like making up little conversations that apparently were within these court documents that are not there. When you look for them, they're not actually there. If you go and look at the actual transcripts that's been released.
Yeah.
And somebody faked a document concerning Stephen Hawking, saying that he liked getting midgets, basically naked midgets, to try and solve complex equations on a chalkboard that was too high up. And that's completely fabricated. That's not in the documents at all. It's not there. There's no midgets.
That sounds fabricated.
And that kind of discredits the whole thing as well. I mean, like, you're getting these documents.
Yeah.
We've been asking for these documents for years.
Yeah.
Absolute years we've been asking for these documents. And we're finally getting some of the documents to confirm a lot of the things that we all knew anyway.
Yeah.
We don't need to make up shit. We don't need to make up things within them. The fact that their names are there, they're associated with being on the island, there's pictures of them with these people, and it's all coming out in the documents. Let that run its course. Don't make up shit.
We don't need that, because it explains the things what are there. It'll explain and come out, and they can deny, and they come up with some really stupid explanations of what was really going on and what didn't happen, as we'll hear. But honestly, and you can't guarantee they're all up to dodgy shit. As an island, as a rich man with posh island parties, things like that. But
some of the names, though, I mean, there's like David Copperfield. Apparently, I didn't know this, but he's got a history or a reputation. So
Kevin Spacey, no surprises there.
No surprise there.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of names.
No, not Noam Chomsky.
Yeah, we've even got RFK there, but I've not looked that one up individually to see exactly what it says. It could be another case of he was mentioned And they were saying, no, we didn't know, so I'm not going to. But yeah.
Branson for sure was up to no good.
There's a hell of a lot of documents to go through. So, I mean, I can't tell you exactly what it says about these people.
I just wish that, and hopefully it'll come out. But again, just because their name was listed doesn't mean they were up to no good or doing what.
However, we all know that old Bill Clinton is going to deny.
Oh,
did not have,
but it would be nice if we did know, like, who was doing what. But
yeah, we're getting some information, so you can slow this down and look.
Courtney Wild, I see Courtney Wild on there. Look at all the doctors listed.
Yeah, no, that's quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I can't confirm what exactly it says about every single one of the people on the list so far, what it actually says about them within the documents, but what we do know so far concerning some of them. So, the court documents do allege that there was sex tapes taken of Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Richard Branson by Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
So, where these are, no idea. Apparently, he had a lot of tapes, and he had like videos, like secret video within his apartment. We know in New York, and he was videoing all the time. So there could be a cache of these tapes somewhere.
I think there would be. I think that's part of his thing and manipulation. I think that's why they had to rid of him or whatever.
I think they do have a lot of these.
Yeah,
documents, video footage and everything, but it's obviously
I'm kind of in mixed emotions if I'd wanted to see that or not.
Oh no,
because I want to know that that's there. I want someone to see it and verify it, but maybe not me. Yeah,
but it's no surprises that the Duke of York has strenuously denied any wrongdoing. That's why he paid all that money to.
Well, who's going to admit it? Who's going to go on there and admit, yeah, I was doing this, or I was, they're. Trying to call their bluff, but they've even stated that there's some video footage of this stuff. So they're not, I would imagine.
If you've done something wrong, Danielle, you pay a hell of a lot of money, millions and millions of pounds to make it go away if you're innocent.
Yeah, that's true. And Kelly makes a good point. Like, it disappeared. They all went off the island with the FBI. Well, our 3-letter agencies aren't so innocent themselves, right?
Yeah, so we've heard from the Duke of York, who strenuously denies it. The other people involved in that, Richard Branson, he's hit back and saying that they're baseless and unfounded.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that coming from him, but
what else are they going to say? Oh yeah. Oh, you got me. That's true.
Yeah. They're just gonna call the bluff and
not at all surprised that these people are denying it. Well, I am surprised in a way because they could have actually appealed before it was released to have their names redacted, but they didn't.
Plausible deniability, and that's what they all do.
But see, they were redacted, and that was the whole point, is that these were coming out now unredacted so that everybody,
But nobody appealed. None of these people appealed. Was it because if they appealed and if it come out later, then...
I don't know if they could, though, Lisa. I mean, because it was already, that information was already redacted, and I think that the judge ordered it to be unredacted. I don't know. I mean, maybe they did appeal, but it didn't go through. Maybe the judge just, that was it.
And then also, Virginia, is it Guthrie or Guthrie?
Guthrie.
She claimed that she had sex with another foreign prince in the south of France after she was trafficked to Prince Andrew. And she claims that Clinton visited the island twice, to her knowledge. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that he was only there twice. It just means, as far as she's concerned, when she was there, he was there twice.
Right.
He could have been there any number of times. But there's another prince. I don't know which foreign prince. I don't know if she's talking about a UK prince or somebody from France or any of the other European countries.
She didn't specify, or they didn't publicly say who it was?
Well, she might have specified, but there is still some stuff blacked out within these documents.
Okay.
But all we know is she said another foreign prince. We don't know.
I'll bet you there's a lot of rats running scared right now.
Yeah, and very interesting, which not surprising, but very interesting. Hillary Clinton is named in the documents.
Yeah, you were expecting Bill Clinton.
Kelly, this is for you. Hillary, because Kelly loves it when I mention Hillary. Hillary is Virginia Roberts' lawyers suggested within these documents that her and Bill Clinton's foundation, the Clinton Foundation, obviously, may well have been bankrolling Ghislaine Maxwell.
Shock horror.
Who'd have thunk it?
No, the thing is,
Everybody that knows them.
Who'd have thunk it that the Clinton Foundation were bankrolling a massive ring of pays?
no, the trouble is, that is interesting, because the thing is, I know that some people suspect that and know that and whatever, but at the time, she's always sort of gave the perception that Bill's off doing his own little secret shit.
Yeah.
That you know, like
I don't know,
the affairs, and she finally admits it, and that upset her so much, and all this crap. But the thing is, now we know that she may actually know. She's kind of clarifying that she knows more than. You know.
I mean, she's the truly evil one, if you ask me. I think he was like her puppet, you know, like he would do anything. I don't know. She's the evil one. Not that they're both.
But this is implied. There was no. I mean, it was just the lawyers implying that they'd done it, but they've obviously got something. They didn't just make this implication that this Clinton Foundation was involved in financing without anything to back it up. You don't just randomly pluck an organization from nowhere and like, no,
Yeah.
they must have something to back up the
Yep.
train of thought that the Clinton Foundation had financial ties to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, we all know that all these foundations and charities and that they're all usually run by these people or got these people involved with them, and the money goes everywhere apart from where it should do. We know with the Thorn, with the children thing, it seemed like a good idea. Ashton Kutcher, now his best friend's inside for doing dodgy stuff. And, you know, we noticed that, I think there was a review or something of it, 80% of that money for Thorn was going to the employees, and only 20% was being used on the charity itself. So it tells you, that's why I never really back up charities. I know there's some genuine ones and trying, and these foundations, they've got their fingers and everything, and it's usually all these same people as well.
Well, if you look at all the people on this list, I bet if you Googled the number of people on this list and the people that have been involved in things like this in the past, like Harvey Weinstein and people like that, every time you look on their Wikipedia page, it will tell you that this person is a philanthropist. They're all philanthropists.
Yeah.
Every time you're like, what the?
Yeah.
Even Jimmy Savile was a philanthropist.
Yeah, who was that woman who?
But I think they got the wrong P word there, don't you?
What's that woman's name again? Who we covered? Who was against like coloured people and things like that. What's her name? She was listed.
Oh
as
yeah,
one of them.
I forgot her name.
XBLadocious has a question based on what Kelly said. I don't know a polite way to say that, but it's basically getting it's a sexual film, but it involves
I believe that the actual film that Kelly is referring to is the film that allegedly has Hillary Clinton and what was her advisor's name? Slightly dark-coloured skinned woman.
Yeah, I don't know their name.
I forgot her name. It was her, and her name will come to me. If anybody knows, put it in. Yeah. And a child that was apparently tied to a tree.
Still alive,
and certain things were done to this child, and certain skin was removed from her face, and then I'm not going to go into any more detail. I have actually heard the deposition of the police officer that saw this on.
They actually wore what they took off of this young girl.
Huma Abedin.
There you go.
And Huma Abedin allegedly were in this video, and it was some sort of satanic ritual involving a child. And
but it's not just that Expedalio. I mean, they actually, some of those, anytime I guess you're talking about those films, there's fetishes or things like that involved too. But I guess the reason they call them this because they're like dark web underground kind of films that they.
Yeah, I've actually heard the testimony of the police officer that was, because there was like, I think there was like 16 police officers saw this, and a lot of them ended up committing suicide, apparently.
I'm sure all of them are quite ill.
Yeah.
He's one of the like only couple that survive, and actually listening to him describing what he saw in that video, I don't think he was acting. He was very emotional. He was very disturbed by.
Apparently, that can still be found. That video. I don't think I could
wouldn't
watch
even
it.
I wouldn't even want to
I was
start
going to
looking
say
for it.
I don't think I could watch it myself, but
I could
apparently
find anything on the internet, but I am not even wanting to start. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see
The
it.
trouble is with them things that always stay mystified and unsolved and things like that, because it is on the dark. It could be, a fake and things like that, and there's no way to prove it. There's no one going to come up and say, "Yeah, I had that, I saw that," and things like that. So, unfortunately, that's one of them things where we just have to assume that or suspect that it could not have happened. I don't know how.
That's right, Kelly. They found it on.
I did hear that.
Laptop, and it was called insurance file or something insurance. Yeah,
I did hear that.
But I mean, I could find anything. I am not going looking for. I don't want to say. I don't want. I mean, bad enough actually listening to this man describing what he saw. I don't want. It gave me nightmares. It's terrible.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah.
Some things are better left unseen.
Yeah.
So, as for Andrew, the UK police are not going to do any further investigation, despite there being further allegations made about him and the documents that have been released. The UK police are not going to investigate.
Dare they? Let's be honest.
Seriously, they're not going to go into this. They're not going to look.
What happened to nobody's above the law?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that was just an American thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's their stance at the moment, but I mean, there's still more of this to come out, and the public are now aware of what it says, and whether the public push them into a stage where they've got to investigate, whether they do that properly remains to be seen. But I don't think the public's going to just sit there with the stuff that's coming out and the fact that there's apparently tapes and all this shit, but they're not going to investigate. However, there was a response from, I believe it was one of the lawyers involved, although Andrew has strenuously denied it. He's not said anything else. Now,
of course he's going to deny it.
Well, of course he is. There was an allegation made within the documents that Prince Andrew and one of the victims had sexual relations in a bathtub.
Right.
And this lawyer says that can't be true because the bathtub was too small for Prince Andrew to have bathed in, never mind having sex.
Well, that's rubbish, and
that's his justification for why this isn't true, because a bathtub was too small.
Yeah.
Plus, he didn't sweat. Well, he didn't say that, but we got that for the last time.
So I mean, does it really have to be a large bathtub for someone to
crap, isn't it?
participate in something like that?
Bullshit, isn't it? Just any old bullshit they can like.
Do you really think you go on their island and they've got all these rooms and these facilities and things like that? I should imagine all this money, they'd probably have a pretty big bathtub. Let's be honest. Even in guest bedrooms and showers and baths.
It doesn't matter if it's a bloody sink. You can still manage to do something. You know what I mean?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
You still manage to do something if it's a fucking sink.
And I think what gets me is I think it's the wording of the headline that you showed me too. Doesn't like the word enjoy in it or something like that? Like
it's too small to have enjoyed sex. Like what?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe you didn't enjoy it. What the?
Wow.
And Harvey Weinstein is mentioned in there as well. And hands up, we're surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Not.
We'd have thunk that he was a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of these only came out yesterday, and I've not been. I mean, there's still. I'm sure that the media is still going. There's so much that they're still going through them as well, and the independent media are going through them. So there's still more to come.
There's distractions everywhere.
We know these people are going to cloud it all up until you can't prove anything and put things in and take things out and change things and change their stories. But at the end of the day, you just got to use your discernment. I think there's clear evidence that dodgy things did go on there. We don't know exactly what or to whom and how, but so
it's been covered up for
this
far
has got
too
this
long.
far. I didn't even think that.
I didn't think we'd ever get any names, so I'm surprised. I really am. I didn't think that they were ever going to allow that to come out.
No,
you're not getting all of it, but it's a start.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they had to keep the records, right? I don't know. He's wanting to make his own. Weren't they using trying to make their own his own lineage, like his own kids and things like that?
Yeah, we want to have a whole bloody
bloodline, or
like genetically modified children himself.
Yeah.
Little creepy
Basically
wanker.
like clones or something.
Yeah.
It's just creepy. Stop it.
So then, and then of course there's the big thing: is he alive? Is he still alive? Is he not alive?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll find out one day.
I do think that he is dead.
Well, there is a news. Megyn Kelly, is that her name? Who came out on the news recently, and now you can take what she said a few different ways, but she alluded to we may be hearing from Epstein himself in upcoming days or weeks, but she couldn't tell you more. Like, okay, so
does that mean that the transcripts of what you said?
Yeah, is it a recording? Or are we talking about something? What are we talking about? But she didn't elaborate, so people are putting, speculating right there.
I could be wrong, but I do believe that he is dead. That they want to shut him up.
Do you? I mean,
I don't think it was self-inflicted.
No,
but I don't think there's anywhere on this planet that he could hide.
I think he was a dangerous man to a lot of people. I think.
Oh, for sure.
Like just his little book alone. Then we say about these videos, he must have had security on that. Was on that.
But don't you think he would have had like a failsafe or something like that? Like what's his name? Who had the, Yeah, like if something happens to me, it's gonna, somebody has McAfee.
Yeah, I just don't think there's anywhere on this planet he could hide.
Yeah, unless he's being protected. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. I could be
Time
wrong.
will tell.
Anyway, the reason why we're all here because 2024. Did anybody put on their 2024 betting list that there was going to be aliens? Because aliens.
They're playing that alien card.
10-foot tall aliens. Now, we've seen these 10-foot tall aliens when we done, I can't remember what show it was now. The ones in the back garden in Vegas. My hand keeps going on Jamie's screen, so I just thought I'd wait for you.
I said, about flailing around.
But the Miami police responded to an incident on January the 1st. And boy, did they respond, which we'll get to in a minute.
Not just one, many.
Apparently, people are saying during this incident, they saw a 10-foot tall alien. So let's have a look, and then we'll talk about it. Let me just find it, though, because I've scrolled down.
Not every day you see an alien walking around.
And especially not a 10-foot one. Normally, it's like the 4-foot stories.
Yeah, the little guys, right?
The little guys. This is their daddy.
So, this is the big daddy.
All right, let's just go.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty tall building.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you that. Now the governor.
I don't know why he's there, but
I think we could all be a bit skeptical with that.
Now I've watched it, and when it goes that way because it's opposite way. Right? When it goes that way, it looks weird. It looks like a big sort of white thing coming across. But when it turns and goes round, it looks like 3 separate people standing in a line, sort of walking.
I did spot that. I did see 3 people. Thought you saw 3 people, and I said, "Well, let's have a look." And I had a look, and I must admit, I could sort of see 3 people sort of slightly apart from each other.
There's some still images floating around too that you just look at it and it looks very fake to me. What do I know? But see, with what we know about CGI and AI and
we all had this sort of idea that there might be some kind, because obviously there's been the government had been talking about UFOs and aliens and things like that. We did actually think that there was going to be some kind of alien interaction soon, but we thought it was going to be the blue beam thing, pretend crap or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is. I don't know. the thing what we found strange about it, really, about the video is, I don't know about if aliens are involved or whatever, but there was a lot of police. What a massive police response.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I thought that was a longer video.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get the longer video.
So somebody had, Jamie, somebody had mentioned about the response by the police and how usually, after a couple of them, the officers would get there, they might radio back and say what it is. But when you see the number of police that turned out for this, and then they're just looking at this, and someone's like, well, couldn't they tell it was fake? Well, first of all, if you see something like that, are you going to run up and like shake its hand? What are you going to, are you going to kind of keep your distance?
Let's have a look at this.
Will you just keep an eye on how many police there are?
No sabemos qué está pasando.
I think we're just being set up for more to come. I think that they're just trying to set this up and get people used to the idea.
Léele para que sean testigos cuando se produce una llamada a todas las unidades. Y las que vienen en camino.
Yeah, I think we're just being set up.
Well, but that was an insane amount of police.
That was like
and apparently
Grand Theft Auto or something, a video game or something, when you could put a cheat in or something.
The official narrative is that there was like 50 kids having a fight and letting off fireworks.
With sticks, weren't it, or something?
Yeah, they were having a fight and they were letting off fireworks.
Yeah.
Really? We watched in the summer of 2020 huge, violent protests going on all over America and all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I never saw a police response like that.
Yeah.
That many, yeah.
I never saw that many police responding to massive, violent protests with thousands of people.
Even in some of the...
Well, they firebombed buildings.
Well,
People were killed. And I never saw a police response. Even January the 6th, I never saw a police response that massive.
no. And, it's like just a couple of months ago, probably more than a couple now, where there was that alleged alien that was caught walking through the streets or something like that. And I think we're going to see this pattern, and we're going to see more of this. It's going to try and desensitize us to it.
The very similar story, the one that was in the backyard in Vegas.
I think that's the one I was trying to think of.
Yeah, and then the police come and put cameras afterwards.
Yeah.
Like huge, very expensive cameras.
Yeah.
To protect the homeowners. But that police response was not for a bunch of teenagers having a little Barney and throwing some fireworks. That just, no.
Yeah.
Nope, not buying it. Was it an alien? I
don't think so. Everybody has to use their own discernment and what they...
I would love for it to have been an alien. I'm so proof of aliens, but that's not an alien, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been...
Not that particular incidents or footage or...
It might have been Blue Beam.
Yeah. Well, again, I think we're being set up. I think we're being prepped,
Yeah.
And yeah, Kelly talks about the fallen angels there, but I think that was just being used in Miami there to desensitize us, get it to maybe thinking about normalizing, like, okay, expect this big event.
Yeah. There was something going on there, though.
For sure.
And they're not telling you what really happened.
Or was it, like one of those look over here, not there? Like why was everybody there?
Could be.
Could
very well be. But I think as 2024 progresses, we're going to see even more weird shit. I predict a lot of weird shit happening this year.
Yeah, just go on social media. You'll see all kinds of things.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know what you have lined up to show us, but I saw a few things over the weekend, the last few days that were just crazy. Like, people are just losing their minds.
Mm-hmm.
They've just had enough.
Yeah, I've got some of that coming later, but before we get to that, it's just staying on the theme of aliens. A witness has come forward. They're still saying they're anonymous at this precise moment. I don't know if we're going to get a name for them, but this happened on the very last day of 2023. A deathbed confession from somebody that was a witness at the Shag Harbour incident. And their deathbed confession is, I quote, "There was a large, brilliantly lit, rectangular-shaped object. It came out of the water and ascended into the sky and then quickly disappeared. The photograph, because there's a photograph I'll be showing you in a minute, was taken roughly 30 miles away from Shag Harbour about a week after the incident started," he wrote. "As far as I'm aware, and to the best of my knowledge, no man-made aircraft or submarines possessing such technology exist. One can clearly see from the photo enlargement that the object has no visible means of propulsion, wings, engines, etc. It was quiet and extraordinarily remarkable as to how this object moved and travelled around. I have carried this burden for over 50 years and it is now time to set it free." And I'm now going to show you the image. And
yeah, if you remember in our early episodes earlier in the year, we did this multi-part series on UFOs and things like that. And Shag Harbour was one of the ones that we covered.
Shag Harbour is in Canada, and that is the one where they saw objects over the harbour and they went into the ocean.
Yeah, they would disappear.
When we went to look, there was a weird foam on the surface of the water, like an orangey weird foam.
Yeah.
But this man's had this picture for 50 years. He kept his face shut and quiet because he didn't want to be ridiculed, because obviously there's a lot of ridicule coming with saying you saw a UFO. But now he's on his deathbed and he wanted to share the photo and let people know what he saw. And that's his photo. And yeah, that's strange. I mean, it's got the reflection in the water. It's quite difficult to see, but you can kind of see along here. We've got
There's
the horizon.
yeah, okay, it's hard to see, but there's like a water line there. But yeah,
A horizon line, and it's quite a bizarre shape, really.
Well, and you have to wonder what speed it was traveling, and how many years ago? Like, that was several years ago, and what camera was being used, and aperture, and but quite interesting. I had questioned, like, why hang on to it for so long, but I guess, you brought up a good point of, people don't want to admit that they've known or seen certain things because then they become
He got branded as a psycho, didn't
Yeah.
he? Oh, he's seen aliens. He's seen a UFO. Crazy. Yeah. So that's interesting. That's a new photograph. Just to bring in the new year, we've got a new UFO photo.
Adding it to the files.
Yeah. And just staying on the UFOs for a second, there's a secret UFO meeting happening on Friday. And why is that a secret? I don't know. Let me just read to you what this says. Oh, Jamie's back. And he's in the room. We need to be on a line. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know for how long, because that sounds like he's going to ask for something else in a minute.
So this is from the Metro in the UK. A secret meeting to discuss UFOs is taking place in the heart of the US government this week, raising questions about what intelligence officials are keeping from the public. Members of the House Oversight Committee will be given a classified briefing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, because they felt they need to change UFO.
I know, that bugs me, but
UAP, because UFO was associated with aliens, but they're just going to associate this with aliens. So what's the fucking point?
It weren't just that. That was about the crazy conspiracy people. That's what they kind of said as well. So that's tarded that term, but they tarded.
They're going to do the same
They
to this
helped
one.
tard it. They're the ones who said it.
You're going to have the same shit with this. It's just what's the point? Anyway, the new name it's a new name for UFOs, UAPs.
It's updated.
Yeah. So this will be on the 12th of January. They're having this meeting. Interest in UAP at a government level soared last year after a former intelligence officer, David Grush, turned whistleblower, alleging the government had evidence of intact and partially intact alien vehicles. That bombshell led to a full congressional hearing on the subject, which Mr. Grush and 2 other witnesses gave testimony under oath regarding their experiences with UAP. Retired Navy pilot Ryan Graves said that UFOs are an open secret among fighter pilots and shared a third-party account of jets having to avoid a dark grey cube inside of a clear sphere which stood motionless against the wind. Former Navy Commander David Fravor shared his memory of the famous Tic Tac incident, where a small white object buzzed past Millie. We've all seen the Tic Tac UFO. I don't even need to tell you what that is. But if you're watching Curious Casefiles, you've seen the Tic Tac video. So, yeah, they're having this secret meeting on Friday to discuss this even more.
It's not so secret anymore. We know
Well,
it's going to take place.
We know it's going to take place, but we don't know exactly what.
We don't know. We don't know its contents. We know it's going to
That's
take.
like out of place.
But why are they doing this all now? And then you've got all this shit going on, like the alien spotted in the mall in Miami on just the week before they have this.
Blue beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems strange, and the government are really, it's like when they had that other meeting before, they said, we want you to come forward, we want you to, but tell us, don't go to the public, don't go to other press, don't tell us. That's like, you've all these years you've been, putting everyone down and dismissing everything. Now you want it, and there's a reason. There's always reasons why they want this, whether it's to benefit themselves or whether they are worried or curious. But I think they obviously know more than what they let on. I've just blurred my face by waggling about.
It's okay. It's back. Yeah, it's all about the credibility and the reputation, and
Kelly says there's another video from inside the mall with 3 dark figures in it. Have you got that video?
I did see. I think that might be the images, and that's, to me, that one even looked more fake, in my opinion.
I've not seen that one.
I guess if you're there and you're looking up and seeing this, but I mean, you got to think about how real these. Look at how they had. Is it the CGI where they had like the killer whale like going in and splashing out?
Yeah,
and it looked so real that nobody.
Well, I do believe that they used CGI to thingy the Pope a few years ago because he disappeared.
He disappeared in that window. He just flashed.
He was in the window and then he was just gone.
Yeah.
But that was in a school sports hall, wasn't it, with the whale thing that you're talking about when it splashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just the realistic view of it, and because people even like went, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get wet because it was that real.
Yeah. They've definitely got these technologies and they can do some things that I don't know.
And, and then you're gonna have
and just their timing with all this like UAP shit and like all these congressional meetings and these secret UFO meetings. All of a sudden, like after all these years where like they've said that this was all shut down, that it's not true, blah blah blah. And then over the past few years, they're dripping it to you. Like, here's a TikTok video. The TikTok.
Let's cover it up. Cover it up and then a slow release when it's on their time.
To be honest, I don't know if people actually nowadays even. That's like the reports of UFOs have gone down, but I think people just don't care anymore because they don't know what's true, what is, who's going to listen to them.
Yeah, they're just going to wait for something to happen, right? I mean,
they've done that much shit over the past decade, really. That if even if it's like a CGI UFO come flying over somebody's like little town, I don't think people will give a shit at this stage.
No.
But on top of the CGI, now we're going to have AI that's going to make it look even more real.
Well, that's the thing. Also, we've got all this technology as well coming out, what we know and don't know, and I think people just suspects that. It's like drones now. If you see a UFO, people say it's a drone. Now, obviously, a handful of years ago, you just seen it and you went, "Oh my god," So it all depends, really. That's a funny old sort of time with all that, and the government trying to take hold of it obviously make you more suspicious, in my opinion. But
what did that distract you from, though?
Yeah, exactly. Distractions.
Definitely.
In the meantime, while all this shit's going on, and there's people saying there was an alien in the mall, Fauci has been testifying before Congress.
No kidding.
Yeah, and
got the little man up on the stand, huh?
Yeah, little twat testifying about the whole little virus thing that happened that you might not be aware of. but he's ducked over 100 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Just refused to answer like
He's a
over
little
100
ducker,
questions.
Really?
He has admitted that he approved risky Wuhan research into things.
Yeah.
So he approved this risky research, but he says that he got the proposal and approved it, but he hadn't read it properly. So he like
What? He hasn't read it properly.
he was given a proposal for this
Oh my
research
gosh.
for this research at the Wuhan lab. He was given this proposal, and he just like approved it, but didn't read it. He's saying no, he didn't read it.
Well, there you go.
Now, whether that's bullshit and he didn't read it,
He's still
or
it's still
if it's
on
true,
him.
there's something fundamentally wrong that he's approving shit if he's not fucking read it.
Exactly. What else has he approved? And
Yeah.
that brings in whole question. So he's, he can't get out of that easily. That's ridiculous.
That's like a drastic failure.
That's
Talk about
nearly as
passing
bad as
by.
saying my dog ate my homework.
So to admit that I'm approving research in level 4 virology labs and not even reading the proposal, just like, go on then.
And he's one of the ones telling
If
people
that's what he's saying he did, what did he really fucking do?
exactly.
Yeah.
He was one of the people who was telling everyone that they need to be responsible and take responsible action against things and do certain things to themselves to protect everyone.
I don't believe.
And here he is stamping, just willy-nilly stamping like pieces of paper.
But
I don't think
that wasn't the only one. He's also admitted that he signed off on millions of dollars worth of grants without reading them either.
I'm not buying that one bit. Not at all. He was heading that off with that other doc. There's no way.
Claiming that he didn't read it to take away the responsibility that he knew what was going on, but that is complete and utter sheer incompetence.
Yeah.
And such a systematic failure that he's admitting to. So what was in these things that he approved? And that he's willing to say, well, I didn't read it, to take the blame for just being incompetent.
all
Not
these
buying
times he's gone into been doing public speeches and speaking. Maybe he would have thought to himself, do you know what? I probably should just double check what I've just been signing off on, just in case at any point. But no, that's just a little rubbish.
He has a lot to answer for. And he's taking the fifth on a lot of this stuff. Did you say that? Is this a congressional? Or is this,
Congress. So
I mean, he implicates himself, but what's going to be done? What's going to be done?
Yeah, and we've got in the comments research what he did to the orphans and the beagles. Yeah, the beagles. Not that the orphans are, but I mean,
yeah,
both are disgusting. But it's what he done to them beagles.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah,
you're right. He'll answer to somebody in the end for sure, though. Yeah, disgusting.
And there's a lot of he's not the only one, is he? Let's be honest. I mean, it doesn't matter what side of the field, what you believe in, about the thing what he was supporting and what he was doing, and that's up to you. But he's a dodgy little,
it just shows how evil people are in this world, and what measures they'll do and what measures they'll take to cover up
exactly
what they've done.
And what a load of crap excuses. And that's what we're here. Like, I don't sweat, so that's not me. I can't fit in a bathtub, so it can't be me.
Yeah, I didn't do it because it was a small bathtub.
I stamped it without reading.
Yeah. Take responsibility.
Rubbish. Yeah.
And related to that, Danielle sent me a little video of an evolutionary biologist called Brett Weinstein talking to Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson did an interview recently and talking to now this guy, once upon a time was like everybody else, or most of the people who weren't awake were believing all the lies. And now it's all coming out, the damage that we know about of what these, inoculations are doing to people, but it's really coming out now. It's hitting news waves. So
let's have a look.
The COVID crisis. And so there was a lot of work trying to unpack what we actually understand. And I saw a credible estimate of something like 17 million deaths globally from this technology. So
17 million deaths from vax?
Well, when you scale up to billions, it's not hard to reach a number like that with a technology this dangerous. Now, to your deeper question, I think let's steel man.
So just for perspective, I mean, that's like the death toll of a global war.
Yes, absolutely. This is a great tragedy of history. So that proportion. And amazingly, there is no way in which it's over. I mean, we are still apparently recommending these things for healthy children. Never stood any chance of getting any benefit from them. Every chance of suffering harms that are not only serious, but tragic on the basis that children have long lives ahead of them. If you ruin a child's immune system in youth, they have to spend the rest of their presumably shortened life in that state.
Yeah, I would I would recommend, if you can, looking up that whole interview. He goes into more detail about the whole depopulation thing and how he's come to terms with what's really going on. So I know Tucker Carlson has his own network now. You might have to pay for that, but you should be able to find the whole interview somewhere online.
Tell you something unrelated.
That's absolutely terrifying.
It is.
And even if he's overestimating 17 million, even if it's like 1.7 million,
yeah,
he went 10 times over. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
One is unacceptable.
Yeah.
But if that's right, and that's just not a final figure, that is.
It's
There's not even a word for what that is.
Well, it's like you said, it's on the scale of a global war. And that's exactly kind of what this is in a whole different way now. But, and you can't, they always say, don't use the term, I told you so. How many people did, and family members did, all of us, try to save and keep from doing something like this. And they're thinking, oh, well, I'm okay now. But they're not being told that this is something that can develop within your system. 2, 4, 5 years from now. They're talking about 5 years from the time you got it, what's going to happen to you.
And they're all like, as well, I could have been worse, or things like that. But you don't know that, do you? So,
No.
I mean, it's risks with all kind of things. But I think this particular thing that, that was unprecedented, that was rushed.
Yeah. They admitted releasing different things in different batches to see how the population would react. It was a whole test.
Now, unrelated, if I was to ever make a thriller movie, I'd like that guy's voice to be narrator at the start, where I had to that was really deep and like
the guy that was just speaking with Tucker.
Yeah. And now,
all right,
yeah,
we'll make a note of that.
Yeah.
So that's. I haven't got words. I've got no words.
Now, I think, what we can say is, there's issues and there's going to be issues. That's like anything, like other things that we've had in the past and things like that.
There's still so many people denying that these issues are happening, and it's happening now. It's just...
Or making everybody else look crazy, or you got social media that's still trying to censor certain things. And, the truth's bound to come out. The truth always comes out, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, but unfortunately, it'll be a little too late.
For many.
Right, and we're going to go back to aliens for a minute.
Aliens?
Do we know it's aliens?
Well, we've got a video. It's a little bit better quality video than the Miami one.
Okay.
But is it aliens?
Let's find out.
Let's see, shall we?
This is from yesterday. I'm not sure. The video is quite new. I don't know if the video was taken if it was actually taken yesterday or if it's taken within the week before. I don't know the exact date of the video. But a mysterious giant figure was filmed on top of a Brazilian hill by tourists. And we've got a little video. I'm going to show you. And you can tell me if you think it's an alien. Or if it's nothing like that at all. So let me just get that up on the screen. Danielle's looking very excited.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm thinking about the footage and everything. It's like, what?
I don't know what that video monstra seputus alien genus na iha dumel parana.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, That's not what that says at all. Let's just play it.
Somebody translate.
Vem até nós. Só não vem à noite. Mano, pior que mexe esquisito demais. Parece. Sabe aqui?
São fortes, tá grande?
What?
Ó, ele tá no meio do morro. Olha ali, olha ele no meio do morro.
Ele vai ser camufladão.
Subtitles. I need subtitles.
Olha só, ele tá descendo agora. Tá descendo aqui, ó. Cara, menos de 1 minuto. Olha só.
Não, gente, vamos lá.
Não, olha lá. E como que se fosse macaco? Tá conseguindo ver ele aí?
Aham.
Em direção a essa pedra.
Tá no zoom máximo aqui.
Continua descendo. Continua descendo. Cara, faz 2 minutos que ele desceu do topo.
So I'm guessing that because they're there in person, maybe it's which we can't tell is the scale.
Yeah, apparently it's a giant alien.
Yeah.
But there was 2 figures, and then one of them, I don't know if there was a break in the filming and that one went out of sight or if it just vanished.
No, if you notice, that's what I just spotted this time, which I didn't see the first time. He was actually walking down the mountain. Did you not see that?
I didn't. I'm going to have to watch it again.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I say, it might be closer. It might not be as... It looks like a mountain hedge or a large hillside, but it could be just a small sort of... But I don't know. I mean, that's strange. But yeah, if you see him, he's walking... Look, there he is.
I guess I'm eternally skeptical. I mean, I'm not saying... I mean, everybody obviously has their own opinion and sees what they see. It would have been different to actually be there and see the scale of this, because when we see it,
it's very difficult to tell the scale.
That's where I always stand on everything like this. I'm a believer, but I'm a very skeptical believer.
Yeah,
myself.
Yeah. You keep an open mind. You keep an open mind.
The one at the forefront was moving, so it was definitely something or sort of being, human being. Don't know. It was something. The one at the back don't really move, so it could just be like a stump or a post or something that's there all the time because it doesn't seem to move.
Yeah.
Well, we saw another one what made it look like that, and they panned out the camera and it had gone and then things like that, and it turned out that it was a tower, wasn't it? And they were at a different location, basically. But I mean,
it's very difficult to tell scale. So
scale, that's the trouble, isn't it? But you never know.
But it's just weird. You've got another.
It's definitely
another giant.
If you guys are
alien.
Yeah. What was that?
Before we go any further, if you are joining us today, please, if you don't mind, hitting that thumbs up and give us a like. Get our new year off to a good start and keep things going.
And subscribe
and subscribe. And go and check out our website because it's awesome. Right. Kind of staying on aliens and giants. A man has accidentally photographed Bigfoot, like by accident, after having experienced weird smells and sounds in the woods.
I would imagine there's lots of weird smells and sounds in the woods.
Yeah, I would imagine so, but he reckons that he's accidentally captured an image of Bigfoot after going through the photographs from a camping trip and noticing a mysterious figure in the background. So he didn't see it during his camping trip. He's seen it when he's looked at his photos when he's got them.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, he didn't notice it when he was camping?
No. Like, apparently Bigfoot was right there and he didn't see it. But he took a picture of it by accident.
I thought he went looking to take the picture because he suspected something.
No. And...
Okay.
Now, take that. This is in the Daily Star, so whether you take that with a pinch of salt, I don't know.
The Daily Star.
But this is his picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's really a strange pose. That looks like a man with his hands in his pockets, basically going, come on, get
Is that a bear?
I was going to say, you see a man with, I almost look like, it looks like a bear that could be climbing the tree.
Well, I actually see not climbing. It looks like he's got his back to the tree.
Yeah,
but it looks like one of them sort of old-fashioned bear toys. But,
so it's facing away from the tree.
Facing away.
Is that a bear, though? Because it looks like it's got sort of, can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Like a bear snout here.
Yeah.
But then
That's
it
what I
looks
can
like just do bears stand upright like that?
They can. Yeah.
They can. Now
Yeah.
the thing is as well, we're saying, oh yeah, it's probably a bear, but then do we know how have we stood a bear side by side to a Bigfoot?
Yeah. Do we know where this was taken?
You don't really know.
Washington State.
There you go. I think we have a few viewers out on the west side there, the west coast.
Do you have bears there?
Do you have bears there? I think.
Yeah.
I don't know when you got bears, Danielle. I'm in the UK. We ain't got any.
Yes, they have bears. They have huge woods out there. People get lost in those woods.
See, that's the thing as well.
Does it look like a bear? But then are bears that hairy on the back of their head?
I'll be honest, it doesn't look like Bigfoot to me. I think the image that they took back in the 50s or 60s of the guy or
The
one
guy
allegedly walking. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
whether it is Bigfoot or a bear, why did he not fucking see that at the time?
And that's what throws me. I thought for sure like he took the picture because he heard or saw something.
No, he didn't notice till he got him.
Mind you, I probably wouldn't have took it if I had, or I'm probably too busy running.
But I do believe that. I mean, you can call them Bigfoot, but I do believe that there are entities or beings or whatever that are out there roaming. Now they could be Nephilim, like the fallen angel.
Yeah.
Well, there's a correlation between Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings. So
yeah, and some people think like they're
real ones, not like the blue beam bullshit.
Some people like speculate that they're interdimensional too, like they're coming in and out of dimensions, and that's why they can't be found out there.
That's why that would explain the lack of bones and.
That's what they said about Skinwalker Ranch as well. One of the theories why you can't see things there all the time because it's some sort of portal there.
Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch. I tell you, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
There was things out there that the guy that owned the place didn't. He was almost got it to debunk it, didn't he? Or to and it's like they find out these whole phenomena of things that are going on, not just sightings, but just things that don't make sense. Scientifically.
We've got an episode planned for that, but
that'll be
a huge list. Huge list. We will get
through. That'll be a good one.
We will get the Bigfoot and all.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't have a little thing looking at what happened over the last couple of weeks without mentioning the Florida man.
Oh, you gotta have a Florida man.
Because when you've got things going on in history and crime, there's always a Florida man.
What is it with Florida?
It's just mysterious in general.
So
there must be something in the water.
From the Associated Press on the 5th of January 2024, this is a headline. Brace yourself. Are you braced? Okay. Florida man sues Dunkin' Donuts over injuries following toilet explosion.
Why does a toilet explode?
I don't know.
Okay, so this brings me back to like when this nonsense first started years ago, if you guys remember, and I don't know, you probably heard about it in the UK eventually, about the customer who sued McDonald's because their coffee was too hot.
Yeah.
That's when all of this nonsense started. How people can't take their own responsibility. Okay, so you're telling, this guy.
That's what you've got to have now caution hot on the cup, haven't you?
This guy ate Dunkin' Donuts and had bathroom issues?
No, the actual toilet exploded.
But he's blaming Dunkin' Donuts.
It was their toilet.
Oh, it wasn't something at his house after.
He was in Dunkin' Donuts and he used the restroom and the toilet exploded and he ended up injured and covered in feces and piss and other stuff. And the employees had apparently told him at the time that they were aware of a problem with the toilet.
So they should have never done that.
He sued them for $100,000 because he was covered in shit.
So he had to go and dunk a donut of his own then, basically.
It exploded. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? That's like something out of a...
I think I'd have PTSD. I would probably sue them as well.
never use a public toilet again, let alone your own. You'd be like,
how explode?
How does a toilet explode, though?
I know
Good
you
question.
like mix up cleaning chemicals, they can go up bang, but unless
it doesn't say it in the article, it just says that.
Do you get?
I thought maybe he ate like too many donuts and went home, and then his toilet clogged up.
Maybe he did eat too many donuts. And there was something in his feces that caused a reaction in the toilet. And
oh gosh, could you imagine? I can't even
imagine
imagine.
him to walk out of there though, covered in shit and piss.
No.
Like, can you help me?
That is PTSD. That would be horrible. Oh, I think I'd want to go through some like huge, like those contamination, like when you see in the science fiction movies.
I think I'd be suing them for a hell of a lot more than $100,000 though.
If it did explode and he did have a huge mess, it must have been embarrassing for him because he had to come out or get help as well.
He was injured as well, apart from having the.
Well, yeah, but listen,
on him, for want of a better word.
But not only that, you're talking about he had feces and stuff on him. So what might not show up now, like any diseases or contaminant, you know what I mean? Like hepatitis, HIV, all these other things. Ugh.
Never use a public toilet, people.
No.
Especially in Dunkin' Donuts, because
eat your donuts at home, everybody.
But then they admitted it. They were like, they should have not done that.
What? We admit
so
that.
Go and get your donuts or your whatever.
We had an explosive
take it
toilet.
Home.
Take it home
and use your own toilet, but don't use your own microwave.
Do not use your own microwave.
I really want to know how it exploded.
Because last little story. This is weird.
This is weird.
And this is another lawsuit in the making. Now, I'm not sure exactly where do you know where it is, Danielle? Is it in Florida? Is it a Florida man?
Oh, does it say?
No, I've just got the video. You had the thing.
Yeah. So this took place just a couple of days ago. And there's video of this, obviously, because we're going to show you video. Unlike the Dunkin' Donut one, I don't know that there was actually any video of that, but this is definitely a lawsuit.
No, I've not got a video of the toilet exploding, unfortunately.
Well, or the after the fact.
Very sorry.
Yes, I can't recall where this was. I thought it might have been in the description, but just customers gone wild. Customers gone wild.
So this is Taco Bell. And this bloke, before I play the video, he's gone into Taco Bell, raging. He's absolutely raging because he's took his little Taco Bell after he's ordered it, and then he's put it in the microwave. And the microwave blew up. But he put it in the microwave with the tin foil on it, the aluminum foil if you're American, aluminium foil if you're in the UK.
Aluminum.
So he put the foil in the microwave, and his microwave blew up. And rather than think, "Oh my God, I'm a stupid cunt, what a twat I am," and just get on with his life and go and buy a new microwave, he decided to go back to Taco Bell and have this confrontation with the staff.
I want to all new food. Force you guys to get a pay for my fucking microwave. It blew up. Oh, you're smiling. Oh, what the fuck? No, what the fuck? What's going on with you, bro? Nah. Yeah, don't let this.
I mean, can you imagine that poor worker had nothing to do with it?
Yeah.
I think they're being too polite with him.
Sue him.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
You go with your takeaway.
I think it was New York.
You're stupid enough to put tinfoil in the microwave and blow up your microwave, and you go back to the restaurant and slap the worker. Who probably wasn't even the one that sold you the fucking sandwich or whatever it was, taco. Really?
How is it his fault? Why would you take it out on that young man? I mean, this is
people have lost their minds. They've lost their absolute minds.
They have, and I believe this was Long Island, New York. Yeah, pretty sure.
Crazy.
I would have punched him in the face if he'd done that to me.
Well, and then exactly, kudos to this kid for like just stepping back.
But you wouldn't do it if he slapped you and then you retaliated. That's self-defense.
I would think so. I don't think I could have just stepped back. I
would have
think
knocked him
I
the
would have
fuck
been
out.
over that counter.
I would have knocked him the fuck out. Like, really? Really?
Yeah.
That's
And
how
then
it's
too,
like-
you got the guy, if you look in the video, there was somebody standing, another customer off to the side. It's like, that's now granted, okay, people are like, don't get involved. You don't know if the guy's carrying or whatever.
Yeah.
But where are the people sticking up for
Yeah,
other
don't
people?
know, Mark.
We could put an end to a lot of crap in this world if people would just step up and stop taking it.
Grow some balls and
Just saying.
stop
grow
putting up with
some.
bullshit.
Yeah.
This is like
Grow some.
Yeah, but
just a bunch of like Karens, and he's a male Karen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a name for a male Karen? Ken. He's a Ken.
I think it's Ken.
Really?
But the trouble is,
Get over your fucking self.
what
Really?
the problem is, people are getting more and more entitled, feeling, and they get away with things now, and sort of like in the public, that's being reinforced. That's being, you got to let them do what they want, be who they want. No, you can't just do things. That's like when people start filming people randomly just because they think they look funny, and they're like, they get angry, obviously, because they've got a camera in their face, and these people get all upset and these people go, that's not against the law to film people. Yeah, it may not be against the law, but it's inappropriate and some, it's not very nice to shove a camera in
they're
somebody's
filming them
face.
to goad them into a reaction
them
so they can then put it on TikTok or whatever and get some views.
Yeah.
Obviously, this led up to it. Like they started an argument, and this is why somebody opted to pick up because it had the argument was going on for a minute or so, and they were like, "Oh, I can capture this," but everybody reaches their limit. Anybody at any age reaches their limit. Was just surprised that it was this older gentleman attacking a young person who had nothing to do with it. He wasn't like
there was nobody at the restaurant. They didn't tell him at the restaurant, like, take that home and put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Like, they sold him food thinking he's going to eat it now and thinking that he's got like, the brain to know that you don't put foil in a fucking microwave.
Yeah, how is it his fault?
Yeah.
It's not his fault that you're a moron.
What actually gets me is, at what point do these people who are sitting there filming all this going on
step in and say,
well, do something useful with their phone, like contact someone. I mean,
instead of filming it, phone the police.
Yeah, well, we're seeing these women smashing up plate. There was a woman I remember going in McDonald's and she got the milkshake wrong or something, so she started pulling the tills, everything. That's like, and you're sitting there filming it. Yeah, you can film a little bit evidence, great, put on show everyone, whatever. I understand. But then get that phone and start phoning people. Well, these people are obviously in trouble. They're only limited to what they can do. They've got a counter behind them. They've got to protect themselves and protect their assets and that. It's like,
people have actually lost their bloody minds.
They have, and there was no bones broken. There was no great catastrophe here. But that was definitely inappropriate, and he can't get away with it.
He felt that he had the right to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that he was going to get away with doing that.
I mean, you talk about PTSD now that, that employee's going to be like, oh my God, I mean, all these disgruntled gusts, like anything's up now. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't know, they're just so entitled.
Yep. What you never would have expected now happens.
You blame it when you've got like all this shit, like what we went over earlier with the whole Epstein thing. Nobody takes responsibility for anything.
Right.
They're not taking responsibility. And then you've got like Fauci is not taking responsibility. He's just like excusing it, like, oh, I didn't read it, so it's
denying it. He's totally denying it too.
No, nobody takes responsibility.
That's what I mean. You everyone's actually.
It's always somebody else's fault.
You're kind of being conditioned into that way of thinking, like all the younger people think that everything is everyone else's fault apart from their own, and you got to do this, you got to pander to them, and I think this is what the result is going to be. Is this, and people, like I say, we see governments and we see police and that deny things which are absolutely ridiculous or take no action or cloud up, and people are taking it up on themselves and doing exactly the same sort of thing.
Yeah, they reach a threshold. There's only so much people can take, especially now with so much happening.
All this tension and
I
everything.
expect 2024 to be
Mental. It's going to be
Yeah.
mental.
full of stuff like this. Mental. I mean,
that's
there's-
only like been at 3 weeks, really. Less than 3 weeks that we took off over the holidays. And
Yeah.
we've got all that shit that happened in them 3 weeks. And we've got like another 51 to go. What?
I know.
Yeah.
Buckle your seatbelts, everybody. It's going to get fucking
It's
mental.
stupid. It's going to get and especially if things come to fruition, like, you know, with our economy and the money system and the alien card. I mean, we've got so much coming. This is an election year. It's gonna be a stick with us. It's gonna be fun, and maybe not so fun.
Yeah, we will be back. When will we be back, Danielle?
We will see you next Tuesday.
We will see you next Tuesday, and we're finally going to the moon.
We are.
Yeah, so next Tuesday and the following Tuesday are both going to be dedicated to the moon, because to go over mankind's journey to the moon, we've got to go back 2,000 years. You might be surprised at that.
2,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just tell them that little story? Right. I was doing the research, and Lisa said about, you've not gone back far enough. And then I fell asleep. And I woke up, she was doing it. She said, I've gone back in time. You could got to tell the story before. I said, how many years before are you gone? And was it 200 years or something?
2,000.
2,000 years. I said, oh yeah, don't forget to leave anything out. So yeah. She was right, and you do have to include that.
You do.
Makes sense.
Like, you'll find out, but you've got to go back to mankind's journey and their obsession with the flight and reaching the sky to then reach. So we're going through the history of flight, because that's important, because you need to see how long it took for mankind wanting to fly to them actually being able to fly, to look at how over a little tiny period of time they're suddenly in space.
Listen, if
justification.
If there's anything we know about Lisa, it's that she's thorough. If it's your first time watching this show and you go back and you look at some of our, I mean, you're going to get all the information.
That's basically why the whole journey to the moon is going to be in 2 parts, because I went a bit far back, but it's worth it, because you need to understand.
She went way back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us.
It's only 2,000 years.
2,000 years.
And we will see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, don't forget to put your little thumb up and subscribe to the channel, and go and check out our website at thecuriouscasefiles.com.
And share,
and share again. We love you all.
Yeah,
and
thank you
anybody
very
else
much.
got anything to say? Well, I find the outro.
No, thank you for sticking with us in 2024, and hopefully we can bring some more entertaining and other things informative, and there's plenty out there. Much love. Yes, much love to you all. Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.